as I, as I was saying, I'm sorry, the video got cut off. So the soapwort that I transplanted made it. Next year they're gonna be full and flowy and gonna cover most of the planters, um, and hide that it's not really a planter. It's a bucket. It's a water bucket that um, was ruined. As you can see, there's a hole there, and that's my drainage hole. So let me show you what I did also to this no dig bed. So I don't know if you can see the perspective, but the bed is a little wide, probably maybe 8 feet wide. So maintenance is a little harder, that wide of a bed. So I don't really want to compact it by trampling, or I really don't like trampling on my garden area. So I made this path, and what this path did also is defining one side of the bed into a circle bed, and so that way it is easy. It's easier to do your plantings, your plan for the area. So I decided I was gonna plant around this area right here in the front of the tree, surrounding the tree, the prostrate lantana, which is, there are only two, as far as I know, two colors, which is the purple and the white, and I just like that combination. And with its legginess, because it's, it's I guess it's mostly for hanging planters, but I actually, and it's also supposed to be an annual, but I actually have two lantanas, that variety of lantana that's been growing in my garden for a couple of years now. So I don't know, it's probably, zone 7B probably don't get that cold for it to die back, or I'm just lucky. I also think that it's because come winter or late fall, I don't really rake the garden. I leave the leaves, and it's not by design. It was just because I had a job, and it was hard to juggle both, and so I usually just rake the leaves before the last frost, or right after the last frost in the spring. And so I think maybe that helps that variety of lantana. So if you can imagine them just clambering each other, and the combination of the blue and white, it's actually kind of stunning. I planted some by the road, by our gate, and I don't water it, and that's also another bonus for planting lantana is, they're drought tolerant, and they love the heat, and the pollinators just love them. So this whole area right here, it's probably gonna be 5 or 7 lantanas. They're gonna be small, They're they're usually sold as the 4-inch pots, so they gonna look like nothing the first time you plant them, but then, like I said, they spread. They're just spreading kind, and it's gonna fill up that area. So so that's the plan. And then the unboxing, I don't know, I did the 2 unboxing video and it just didn't pan out. So from Bluestone Perennials, I just got the box this morning. So I have the 2 Caradonna salvias and the Helenium, which is a plant named after me, or me named after the plant. It's Helen's Flowers, and it's like daisy-like flowers. There's a couple of varieties. There's all yellow. There's a Mardi Gras, which is a riot of colors, and then there's like the sort of muted version of Mardi Gras, which is Dancing Flames. It's just great colors for, in combination with the blue salvia. They're like rusty orange, and I'm so glad to find them. I've been looking for, especially the Helenium, for a while, and they're never available in my area, not even the seeds. So I was glad to find them, find out that Bluestone still have left for the fall shipping, fall 23 shipment. And I'm even surprised because when I ordered them, they were sold out. So I guess something was left, and I got lucky. So behind that are the oat grasses. I planted 3, and 1 I think bit the dust when we left for the beach, but I'm not going to dig that up until the spring because grasses are usually tough, so maybe the roots are still alive and come back in the spring. Otherwise I will certainly replace it, no problem. I know the nursery where I got it from in Rome, Georgia, he carries it all the time. So on the other side of the bed, I really haven't shown the whole bed because I'm not really finished with it. I planted this miniature buddleia from our trip in Florida, and the reason why it's not finished is because I just got priorities, and I still have to clean up this area. I have to dig all these irises and cut the grass, and then put the cardboard and finish laying the cardboard, and then spread the compost. So so that's where this bed is at. And so I'll show you where I think I'm gonna put all those irises. So my other late summer planting is this iceberg rose, which is, I am so happy that I got it. And on top of that, it was a sale, end of a season sale from Ace Hardware. It's just been blooming. There's a little black spots going on, but that's just happened. I don't think that's black spot. Maybe it's just getting ready for, for dormancy. So I'm thinking I'm planting the irises around here. In iris and roses, they're usually a good companion. Um, I really am not, I didn't have any plan for that rose, but it was on sale, so I just created this little bed as an extension of my obedient plant bed that used to be my herb garden. I had a big rosemary here growing for a couple of years, and then it eventually just died. It was, mostly from neglect on my part. And then I also, from Lowe's, I got this on sale, which is 50% off. This standard duet rose. So it's an iceberg, it's pink and white. So it's a 2-in-1 rose, and then of course the pretty hips. But I cut quite a few hips when I was deadheading it. It doesn't look much, but they cut it back when they put it on sale, because the guy said they were all tangled up, and really they just have to hack it down. And so, but it's healthy. There's a bunch of new growth going on, so they're gonna get hardy this fall and winter, and then hopefully next year they're gonna go big and full. So that's gonna be my height in the middle of that bed. I'm sorry I made that little structure there with my old rakes that were broken. And also another plant from Lowe's is this, so I have to bring it in. I'm surprised. I got lucky. It's been low 40s the last couple of days at night, and from what I've heard, they don't like it to be below 50 outside, but they're hanging in there. So I'm gonna bring it inside for next year, and I think next year I'm gonna plant it. Here, let me show you. Maybe we can carry this with one hand. So I thought I would plant it against the stump. Sorry. Bear with me and the view of the stump. So like that. Right now I have stuff propped on the stump, but that's gonna be nice, I think. I originally was going to, but I think I still am, plant some amaranth, called the variety called Kiss Me Over the Garden Gate, but I think I can plant it on this side. So this is the gate post, which I'm hoping that I can do a trellis. I have to measure if the tractor can go under it, if there's a trellis. So and also this container with rocks, I think I'm gonna remove some of the rocks and then add some planting soil and plant some lavender, because they like sandy or well draining soil, and I have unfortunately I have clay, so whenever I plant them they never make it. So that's my plan. I don't know if it'll work, but I guess we'll find out together. So from this view, you're gonna see And then especially when I'm done burning my burn pile behind it, behind the fence, that would be a pretty view, don't you think? So, and on the other side of my sunny rose garden that I started this year, I cut down the morning glory that was climbing on the arbor. I am experimenting with a chandelier. That's not the chandelier that's gonna go up there. I have a chandelier that is pretty patinaed. It's metal, kind of more romantic than robust like that. So it's gonna be better suited. It's hanging up in the tree and in the backyard, and I was just lazy to get a ladder and take it down. And so this bed, the mums that's been here for a while, I'm sorry, the sunlight is so wrong time to video. So that's going to be full of yellow daisy-like, and it's mom. It's been there for a couple of years, and as you can see, it jumped over the path, and I think I'm gonna move the majority of that as well, because as you can see, it just gets crazy for a mom. And then I have this cardboard too, which I think I'm successful. I've been trying to kill that wisteria. There was a big root that was in there, and I've been digging it, and it's still trying to come back. So I finally thought of putting cardboard and, take the sunlight off of that root. But the Gora is happily blooming. So, I'm saying all this, descriptive word because, they're newly planted this year. They're mostly end of season plants that, were on sale that I have to get. And I'm just so happy that they're doing well. There is one pincushion that is very happy looking, and there's another bud in there. So I have 3 of them, and she's the only one blooming. So this one and that one. And then I am going to take out that Nepeta there, the Six Hills Giant. I think it is, if it stands up like it's supposed to, then I wouldn't have mind, but it's, I don't know, it's crowding. I'm afraid, crowding the rose that's gonna climb on the arbor. And then of course the limelight hydrangea I'm gonna leave the blooms there. There were like, I think 3 or 4 taller stalks that I cut down to make it uniform and shapely. And then these zinnias are obviously done, but there's still butterflies. So I guess I'm just gonna let it die on its own, because I don't want to, take it away from the butterflies. So all the plantings in there are surviving, I think, except for that green. Let me see. Echinacea. Oh, the sun is so bright. I'm so sorry. But the Amsonia, I didn't even know. I acquired it a long time ago from a mail order catalog, and I stuck it in the ground in the back. It was never watered. It was under a thick shade, and I finally decided this year that I was gonna rescue it and put it in sun. And I didn't even know that it turns yellow, which it is in the fall. So I think it's gonna be turning more yellow, which is a plus. And then of course the tree, the lollipop tree, that's gonna save the garden in the winter. So that's gonna be my winter interest, along with the sky pencil holly that I just planted literally days ago. So they're gonna be my evergreen for the winter. And also, I don't know if you remember from my past videos, but along the path, you can still see here, and careful because there's a bunch of wasps having a nest on the ground here. See the path? So whenever I dig a hole, this area is so rocky. I just literally put the rocks by the path. So I decided I was gonna stop that and, you know, get rid of all those rocks. And so I had a couple of buckets, plus I ran out of buckets, so I just put it in this horse feed bag. And now it's so heavy. I'm gonna have to wait for my son to get home from his away in school, or I'll just get the tractor maybe and move that gigantic bag of rocks. So I am still debating if I will continue the city butterflies, if I continue the path to go over here to the arbor as a path, because there's already one in there, so it will continue all the way to there. And then if I decided to do that, then I will get rid of those rocks as well. So that's where it's at. The sedum is there, and all that stuff. And then of course I'll show you the other side where there's late summer plantings. But the most exciting thing going on is in the heart-shaped bed. This is the native Georgia aster. It's the most beautiful. I'm so in love. And they got thicker this year. This is their second year of blooming, and so they got thicker. I'm gonna do better on the stocking next year. I got this support from Gardener Supply, and it was already growing too big, so I'm gonna see if I can stake them the beginning of when they first come up in the spring. That way they won't be flopping around, because you know, you don't want them to flop around and not see their beauty standing up. It's beautiful. And also in my previous video I showed you that the New England asters, right there where some of the red leaves are. They also bloom, but they're done. And as you can see, the native is still going strong and beautiful. And then also the orange lantana is basically done and ready to go to sleep. So but they were beautiful. I've been posting it on Instagram. The combination of the orange and the purple, like I said, is gorgeous. That's why I came up with that idea for the no dig to do the purple and white lantana. And speaking of lantana, so this is the lantana I'm talking about. So as you can see, they're, you know, prostrate variety, meaning it's trailing, and so they're a lighter purple, and then of course the white is, it's the same growing habit and the same as that, only it's a white variety. So can you imagine, you know, because of their wispy branches, they, if you plant them together, you know, they would clamber to one another, and then the blue or the purple and the white combination is just gorgeous. So I can't wait. And like I said, these two has been here for years and they're still alive. That's why they don't sell it in the fall, and I wish they do, because you know, I wanted to give them a head start for next season. And but they're such, you know, hardy plants, so it doesn't matter. They would still do well planted in the spring. So these are my two estate sale find urns that I thought I would put there to mark the path in the middle of the heart-shaped bed. And so coming over here in the shade garden, everything is hanging in there, but you know, they're ready to go to sleep. I'm just taking care mostly of the Hoconi grass for it to make it to next year, and then after that they should be fine. They become drought tolerant after they're established. The fern is hanging in there, can't believe it. There's the hosta, almost going to sleep. So just full of leaves, really hard to see all the plants in there. But I'm just, and so this, guys, the heuchera, which is the timeless variety, they're just not doing well. So I'm not buying them again. I love their color, but it's, I don't know, maybe I give it a chance. Well, I'm not buying it. It's just I will see what happens to them next year. But they were the timeless. This is the timeless night, and the other one is a grape, timeless grape. So, and see, there's, I mean, I think maybe it's my soil too. This is a very rocky, dry shade area. And so these guys, this is like actually a ground orchid, and they didn't bloom this year. It's been there a while, and but the ajuga, on the other hand, they're growing like crazy, like weed that they are. And then there's my new hosta bed, or I call it my anniversary hosta bed. So Empress Wu, or let me say it, this is my hosta with names bed. Empress Wu is doing, that's August moon, and that's Francie. It's France with two E's, which is, I love the creamy edge. It's not white, it's cream. So gorgeous. I can't wait for it to grow big next to the yellowy August moon. And then of course the hellebores, they self-sow there. And I had a fern, a big clump of fern that I put right there, but it was in a pot, in a decorative pot. I moved it to a different part of another garden. So I liked it there, but I think I'm gonna get another hosta to just make this a hosta, and maybe some darker leaf heuchera or heucherella something, or maybe the pink hearts with the purple leaves. And so I planted that Encore azalea in the heat of the summer. It's doing well. It has one bloom. You can see it's purple palace. And then of course I've been trying to make sure that the moss will keep growing, and I planted a clump over here, so maybe one day they're gonna connect around this tree. Wouldn't that be pretty? I just love moss. It's so zen to me, and if I'm sad, I usually go out and then weed the moss, and I get lost in my thoughts with the moss. And so so going in this path, these are my two estate sale pots that I haven't decided on what to do. I put that fern there just to see, because what I wanted to do is, I was originally going to plant two yew hedges, or hedges, bushes, where the planters are, to make it sort of kind of semi-private for the bistro set, for the bistro table and chairs. So wouldn't that be nice, like, you know, a separation there, you know, a living fence. But I don't know, I have to figure it out, because then that little path there is it's gonna get too narrow. Maybe it'll be fine. So I'm thinking that before, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be able to buy a huge, you know, 10-gallon yew. So I think I'm gonna plant him on the planters first, and then, you know, see how it goes. So there's the no dig bed from, you know, the perspective. Let's see. And there's a rose that I planted to climb on that structure. And then on the other side is the back side of the rose garden. And of course, my mother-in-law got me a sign that I don't know where to put yet. So, so there's the back. Everything here is newly planted. As you remember that I expanded this bed and put small boulders as a retaining wall. So, oh, look at the little flowers. So this is an ice plant that I thought it would, you know, tumble down over the rocks, and when it grows bigger. And those irises I transplanted from somewhere over there, the rest of those irises. So everything, I'm really happy with the plantings. There's the abelia, I think it's the kaleidoscope. There's a spigella in there. The spigella is doing great. If you want something, no fuss, don't care if it gets watered, and I can't wait for that to show up next year. And they're bright red blooms, and like I said, the pencil holly is there. So in the winter, it's gonna be the bird baths, this guy, this topiary, and then of course the arbor and the bird bath and the metal bird bath. So that's gonna be, and then of course the limelight's gonna be here in the winter as well. See how pretty pinkish they turn. And like I said, they were planted the end of summer or midsummer, in the middle of the heat. So, and then the other thing that I'm really proud of is this bleeding heart, which is a fern leaf, bluish leaves. So cut that back. So it's doing well. And then of course all the veronicas. That's the white ones. I don't know which variety. I think they're white ones as well. They've been here a while, and I moved them to the front because they're low growing. Let's see if you can see. See, and then that blue, the blue veronica, it's been blooming profusely, but it's finally done with its little candle looking things. They were beautiful. So that's another thing that I recommend to you guys. It's, I mean, look how nice and robust it is. And another white one there, and then of course the irises, I didn't cut them back. So many things that I needed to do and haven't done. The rose over there is hanging in there. Like I said, they're all just new planted things in this garden. And I also made a path there so I can access the middle of the bed. So that's what it looks like with the sun shining. And so this is rose campion that's gonna bloom first thing in the spring, and they're gonna be beautiful and airy. So that's everything. Sorry, I had the chair there when I was hanging the chandelier to see how it would look. Um, oops, I was gonna show you butterfly. I mean, I thought butterflies migrate. There's some. You see it? Oh, his wings are so pretty. And that's why the zinnias, ugly looking zinnias are still there because of the butterflies. But, you know, what can you do? Everything is just ready for bed for the winter. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I don't have the grandest garden, but I love everything about it. It's my therapy, it's my joy, it's where I find solace and refuge, and so I am just glad that I'm able to share my little part of the world with you, with the butterflies. And because obviously you don't need a grand garden for the butterflies to come. So um, so I hope this gives you inspiration. I mean, I was inspired by a friend of mine. She died of um, cancer. She lived, not grandly, she just lived day to day, and she lived in a little trailer, but she always managed to buy a packet of zinnias and plant it right by her doorsteps. So, and that was her joy. That was her piece of heaven, and she was and she still is my inspiration. And her name is Dorothy. So I hope I'm giving someone a little inspiration to get out there, play in the dirt, and um, find joy and peace. So until next time, dear garden lovers, I hope you had a chance to come out today and play in the dirt. I see you again sometime soon, hopefully one more time in the garden before the cold. Otherwise, I'll keep sharing things with you, garden related, estate sale finds for the garden, to show you that you don't need to pay outrageous amount of money for things that you need for the garden, especially the pots, um, and tools, and even plants from estate sale. So that's what I'm gonna do while the garden sleeps, and maybe tour some of the gardens in my area, like the Camellia Society Garden. I am definitely planning on touring that, so I'll take you along with me. So until next time, I see you soon. Bye.